Hello, friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on January 7th, 2025. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet, and welcome to the Daily Dew, giving you your space weather update, earthquakes, volcanoes, and world weather. Starting out here, always looking at our sun for the past 24 hours, as we do have active sunspot region that has since gone quiet since last night's update. Solar X-ray flux in the low C range right now. We have 10 Earth-facing sunspots as posted yesterday, and we still have plasma filaments, too, stretched across the surface of our sun, all Earth-facing. This is a look at 304 angstroms, showing the last 3 hours of imagery on our sun. There was a coronal mass ejection that took off from the northwest region of our sun, and that will be visible on LASCO 3. Current imagery here of 171. No Earth-facing coronal holes. Solar wind speeds are lightening up a little bit for say. And our sun, another light here. Get to see our heliosphere in action. Amazing images brought to you by Go16 and SUV and Daily Events Worldwide. Again, our sun has all of a sudden gone quiet after going into a solar flare frenzy for about 3 days. 3947 sunspot region is the culprit. And right now we have visible 9 sunspot regions. Current space weather conditions, there are none to talk about. Solar winds are coming in at 490 kilometers per second. Solar X-ray flux, as you can see, in a low C range. Just recently showing a small signature of a C-class flare. Solar proton flux still pretty static, but calming down. Geomagnetic activity still hanging out at a KP2 and 3. ISWA space prediction spiral here showing the space weather prediction as they have not updated since a couple days ago. So stay tuned, and we'll wait for that to be updated. Space weather spiral here, brought to you by ISWA. It does show that coronal mass ejection taking off towards, looks like Earth, but it did take off in a northward fashion as well. So we could possibly get a glancing blow from that CME, which is visible here on LASCO 3. This is showing the last 48 hours of cosmic energies leaving our sun. And there is that CME. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. A lot of new followers to the channel. Thank you so much for being a part of the family. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and maybe share with your friends and family who might enjoy this content and critical information shared. This is our sun, and this is the most recent coronal mass ejection, taking off again in a northward fashion. Looking at the aurora forecast for tonight and tomorrow, more probability to tonight than tomorrow. Also wanted to show here with you the solar flux and as well the sunspot numbers as we are in solar cycle 25, which is solar max. And we had double the predicted values so far. Definitely putting on a show, solar cycle 25. Now let's get to earthquakes. As last night's video was an earthquake warning, and I didn't even get it premiered, and a 7.1 earthquake rocked the Tibetan Plateau, southern Tibet. 7.1 earthquake, multiple lives lost, multiple aftershocks, thoughts and prayers going out to everybody affected. This is a look at the last 24 hours for earthquakes. Some deep earthquakes here, Marianas Trench and south of Japan. Volcano Islands, 530-something kilometer depth, and as well Izu Islands with a 5.6 earthquake. Heads up, I don't think this 7.1 has anything to do with those deep earthquakes that just hit the Marianas Trench. This 7.1 earthquake that rocked Nepal yesterday, Tibetan Plateau. Look at all those lakes on top of volcanoes, pretty much. Not a very populated region. It looks like a small town or city here, just east of the epicenter. But hundreds of structures, buildings were destroyed, hundreds of lives lost, and I'm sure thousands more injured. So again, thoughts and prayers going out to everybody there. Carrying on here around the world, deep earthquake here. Fiji region, 379 kilometer depth, and has all of a sudden gone really eerily quiet across the North American plate. Central America as well. All of the energy escaping through that 7.1 earthquake. And that's the last 24 hours for earthquakes. USGS is reporting about 210. So still slightly above average and above last night's numbers. This is a glance at the last 7 days for earthquakes as Africa is splitting in two and the Tibetan plateau is a shaking, rocking and a rolling. Marianas Trench, deep thrust earthquakes. Heads up, this is another earthquake warning video. Please, heads up, stay aware and prepared. Way too quiet up into the North American plate. We haven't seen anything for a little while. Expecting something big. So, much love. Thanks for tuning in. Let's have a look now at the air quality forecast brought to you by the active and erupting 72 volcanoes. Active regions there, Hawaii, Kamchatka, and as well Mexico, and the New Madrid, southeastern regions of the United States. India, China, and as well South Africa. Overlooking Europe, Central America, South America. Still some pretty thick sulfur dioxide emissions across our planet right now. People have been showcasing fog too. There's been intense fog around the world, inundated with sulfur dioxide and ash particulates. Now let's have a look at world weather here, brought to you by windy.com. Multiple systems affecting South Africa this week. Strong windy systems affecting Europe. Stormy conditions across South America. Want to focus in here on the cyclone that is forecast to hit northern Madagascar. This is showing the next 36 hours making landfall and then reforming here over Mayotte and then heading towards Mozambique before it starts to head back towards southern Madagascar. So interesting track with this intense cyclone, and then watching the long range, two very strong low pressure systems develop for South Africa, Zambia, Mozambique, Botswana. Flood watches in effect. Please stay aware and prepared and stay tuned to your local weather stations. Overlooking Australia, Southeast Asia. Watch for a low to be hanging around the Australian continent. That will bring some extreme weather towards northern regions. Watch for possible wildfires. Speaking of wildfires, pretty big wildfire burning just west of Malibu, California. Just recently sparked today, but is being fueled by 60 to 100 kilometer per hour winds. Thoughts and prayers going out to everybody affected there. We'll show you satellite imagery real soon. Overlooking North America for weather. Still extreme cold temperatures and blizzard-like conditions for most of eastern Canada and the prairies. All these low-pressure systems in the Pacific heading towards the Alaska still, dropping hundreds of centimeters of snow. Big blizzard-like conditions developing in the long range for eastern Canada and the Atlantic provinces. And then a big windy system heading up into California. Speaking of California, here is a look. Satellite imagery overlooking west of Los Angeles. You'll see a big smoke plume there start to barrel out of east of Malibu. And that thing has been burning all day, and again, fueled by 60 to 100 kilometer per hour winds. Thoughts and prayers going out to all the people who are being evacuated and quite possibly affected by this wildfire event. Some great changes happening on our planet right now, humanity. Much love and thank you so much for being a part of this channel. Broadcasting here for now 7 years, and we're close. We are embarking on 85,000 followers. We're getting close, folks. If you like and share this video tonight, most likely we will pass this together. Please don't forget to do your due diligence. Give a thumbs up, get in the comments section, let me know where you're watching from, and share with your family. Much love, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. Stay aware, prepared,